performance standards, permit option.
Well, wait a minute.
Certainly, we talked about it.
Okay.
You referenced it a little bit. More
Well, I did. The NR151 is where the ag performance standards can be found. And again, those are, you probably have seen the list of what they are. Right now, most of the counties, like I mentioned, they're getting a little bit of frustration at the county level with are they being administered. And what most counties will have is that they will go out and work with the landowner to meet the performance standards. But when it comes time to actually enforce that, or whether or not they will, you know, when push comes to shove, you can have me do this, they typically turn to the DNR to do that, be that enforcement person. So you've gone out there, Greg's gone out there to try to bring somebody into compliance with the performance standards. So then we turn to the DNR to be there has to be an actual official offer of cost share in order to do the enforcement before you go to that enforcement level, which whatever that may be, I'm not familiar. But counties again have had a bit of a frustration with that not being done. Folks are saying, hey, you know, this site's been a bad site for a long time. Why can't anything get done? So that's a lot of times when we see the counties stepping up and going, look, we want to take this on and do this. So any specifics on that? I mean, is there
a set percentage that has cost share?
70% for most of the practices is what the offer. Some counties work different percentages with different landowners and things, but the offer, there's some flat rates as well. So there's different cost share levels or amounts depending on practices. We do have some counties that take it on themselves to do some different percentages, but some will maybe go down to 50 or what have you. But and it doesn't necessarily have to be. There can be cost share that comes from the NRCS as well, in place of other funding. So there's more than one funding source as well.
My understanding, though, correct me if I'm wrong, is if you want to follow through with enforcement, you have to provide an offer of 70%, and if it is accepted, we move forward. It could be rejected, and you have to offer 70%, and if that cost share is rejected, then we could proceed with enforcement.
Correct.
I don't think you can offer 50%.
No, but as I said, some counties do offer lower levels and are still getting the work done and getting there. Yes. Yeah. And then you get into the realm of farmland preservation and taking those credits, and they're that you don't have to have that offer of cost share if they're taking the farmland preservation tax credit. So that, and yet you still have to be in compliance with the performance standards. So it gets into a little different.
Well, and the other thing is that if it's over 1,000 animal units, that doesn't require cost sharing. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes. Right.
Also, we're saying that with livestock, it's also not necessary cost share. An application comes in from the producers, there are policies, not necessarily cost share. Yeah, the county's not on cost share. Health as part of the current in those locations where, of course,
I think we said this too, and I'm just clear in my mind. The livestock siting does not require storage either. I think you said that, but I wasn't. I mean, I didn't been right in. So that doesn't. You can have a siting livestock feeding operation only or something trigger over into that siting and need a permit, but does not necessarily have storage. So you might not always catch that operator permit-wise just through siting or just through the ordinance.
Sure, a couple of nuances with this as well. There are some places where somebody like Trout Unlimited will come in and sweeten the cost share and try to get it. If it doesn't happen on 70, if Trout Unlimited sweetens it up to 90, maybe it'll happen. So that's occasionally happened. And you know, when I was with DNR, I was involved with some enforcement cases, and they're not pleasant. You know, this one we had, it was just real nasty. The guy just hated government, so it didn't make any difference how much money you offered him. He just kept fighting all the way. So it's something that, you know, both the DNR and the county take on as partners. You know, DNR has to do the enforcement letter. The county does, you know, the technical stuff, and it can be a massive time sink. Somebody, why people try so hard to not do it, because you could take multiple people through a voluntary process in the time it takes to take one person through the enforcement process.
That's true. A lot of counties, the working relationship with the county and the DNR has been pretty good over the years. The landowner will be told, work with the county, get the issues addressed, and we will stay at it. You know, we won't be out here writing the tickets, the daily tickets and what have you and things. And so, and then that's been a good relationship most of the years. But as you said, those one or two that become the problem, then it's not the case. I hope I answered. I mean, with the performance standards, you do have that option to incorporate it, and but that also has that requirement of the cost share.
Is there a difference to incorporating NR 151 in animal waste storage ordinance versus having it be a standalone ordinance?
Pepin right now, is Pepin looking at pulling it out and making it separate?
I mean, is there an advantage to that?
I don't know yet. It's pretty, this is newer than, we have a lot of counties that are putting different twists on ordinances and adopting them. And that's one of them. And I have had, and
tied to the manure storage ordinance, and it's those farms that have to have that permanent storage that are being tied then to farms around the performance standard. Whereas standalone ordinance, you're talking about the whole,
Right, you're blanketing
the whole kit caboodle on it. And so how you implement that, if assessed, is kind of what kind of impact that would have on county resources, how we plan.
there are some counties that have just feedlot ordinances as well. They've separated out storage from feedlots and had two separate ones. There are a couple counties that have them combined. They're all in one, which presents challenges. We've also more recently had a county that had siting within storage. They had livestock facility siting. It was in with manure storage ordinance, and have, due to a case, they have pulled it back apart and made them separate. So careful consideration on what, how you move forward with things. No, it became a problem.
I think you said it right. You've got to analyze and look at the agriculture that's within your county currently.
Yeah. Yep, and thought to how you write it and things. We have a county that had some specific statutes written into their manure storage ordinance, and through that have gotten some practices adopted that they might not necessarily have wanted. The new NR 151 targeted performance standards were automatically pulled into an ordinance because they had that particular number in there. Like, oh, now what? So, you have to kind of caution to take a serious look at what and how you're doing that.
The county made up its own manure storage
Would that be a way for them to get away with cost sharing with farmers then?
Their own ordinance, how or what, how would,
Yeah, if you made your own ordinance up,
Sure.
you're pulling it away from that 151 or whatever it is.
if you don't reference them in there, you then don't become that regulatory part of that. You do not have to have the 151, the performance standards in there. They do not have to be included in your ordinance.
No,
So then you wouldn't have to go down that road with that. And you could leave that in the hands of the DNR, if you will. Parts of your manure storage ordinance, though, do cover some. There is some overlap with the nutrient management plan. And there are a few items that are in there automatically, if you will.
There's no way to get around the cost share requirement other than, again, if they're a large farmer.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I think this is what you're referring to. So say someone comes in with our current ordinance that we have right now. They come in tomorrow, manure storage pit. We don't have to provide them a cost share to meet 590, which is part of, the permitting process.
Correct.
Because that's in our ordinance. They're just agreeing to meet the ordinance. We don't have to cost share them.
Correct.
Okay. Does that answer your question a little bit
Well, I
better?
was thinking if you're like trying to go back and regulate existing, manure storage that haven't gone in through a permitting process. And like currently, if you were trying to do that, you would have to do something to give them help, right? 70% or whatever.
Not on the storage itself.
Oh, not on the storage itself. Not if you wanted them to redo it or something, entice them to redo it.
Correct. It's the, you do not have those in there right now. No. And as I mentioned, Greg and I have talked about going back on ones and how that can or cannot be done at the local level. We'll put our heads together on that. I have some other folks that are interested in that, and I'll see how that all moves forward, because a lot of counties are asking those questions right now. Can we and how can we get at existing? And you may not be able to. So
For the operation.
for the operation partner to continue, yes. We're gonna make a break for it if it.
Yes. and that's up to us. I guess what I wanted to add is there's a lot of background information which we have had today. Next meeting in January, we're going to have more background information from the DNR side of things concerning CAFOs. Audrey, will you be providing an update on the groundwater report or Matt?
Mostly.
Okay, so Audrey will give us an update on the groundwater report. So this will be a lot of the background information for us to begin moving forward. So that was about it. Unless someone else has something else.
I have a question that, you're going to provide, can't remember your name, I'm sorry. Lisa.
Lisa and Chris is.
Yeah, Lisa, you were going to provide a list of the counties who have.
Those counties who have them on their webpage, I have links to them.
Okay.
I have to apologize, our, Chris's webpage on our DACCAP page is more current than mine is right now. I'm working with our GIS people to get them, so you could actually just go to our own webpage, go to ordinances, and it would come up there. My goal is to get a map, you click on the county that you want to look at, and the ordinance pops up. I'm working on that. Right now, though, I do have a list of them, because that's what I need to make this map work.
Okay.
can forward you that link, that spreadsheet with those links. I will get you just the standard review I did, and remember, it was just a kick at it to say, hey, this, you might want to look at this, these are things, areas of concern. And then you've got some uniqueness out there in some of the county ordinances that are quirkiness, if you will, even, so is take a look at that, see if there's anything that interests you in your ordinance. So.
Is there a county that you would recommend that isn't quirky?
I didn't say it. Yeah, that's okay.
It's been recorded.
Oh, great. No, there's so many of them right now. We probably have a dozen or more right now. They're in the process of doing something. So, and then some of the other ones are older. Sauk County just went through a big revision with their ordinance. They incorporated the performance standards. They wanted to go down that road. And did they also, they got the certificate of use in there. So that county's more recent, if you will, on revision. Probably the newer ones are more the better ones to take a look at. Some on the east side of the state, some of those counties have quite a few of those have performance standards. Well, but they're from a while ago. They had done them years ago, incorporated them back then, and they may still need some updated. Start with Sauk. I can put that in there too if there's somebody that pops in my mind.
Well, Kewaunee County does, I mean, there's a new law over there in that part of the state covering
Yeah,
their issues.
the slurring, targeted performance standards. Kewaunee County has done things a little differently in their adoption of their ordinances over the years and things in there. Their ban on spreading on anything less than 20 feet to bedrock and things. They put some things in place. They've done it a little differently in order to get it in the entire country. They've had it required adoption through referendum. That's 11. So they go about things a little differently over there than other parts of the state. So every town in Kewaunee County had adopted that part of that ordinance through a referendum. So I went to vote. They took it to a vote.
What part of the ordinance was it?
That was the no winter spreading ordinance that came out a little while ago. And I'll be very honest, and I've talked to Davina, as the county conservationist over there. They have a very outdated administrative ordinance right now. It's got some age to it, and I had been talking and working with them probably 5-6 years ago when right before all of everything came to light. Spotlight was put on Kewaunee County about, we need to get your ordinance updated. There are things in there, like simple things like abandonment and some of those simple things that they cover. And so I don't steer counties to Kewaunee's administrative ordinance because it has outdated. So there are other examples, like again, like a Sauk, it's just. I'll send it tomorrow.
Okay, anybody else got any other questions here? Anybody? Not, I guess we'll set the next meeting will be set for January 15th. And then go over the DNR and CAFO rules, groundwater, NR 151. Anybody's got any questions on those or any suggestions on anything else?
Who's the rep company?
They have not confirmed who will be coming. It's one of their cables.
Okay, well, nothing else on the agenda. I'll adjourn this meeting. See you guys in January. Everybody have a nice Christmas.
Yeah.
chance to get to your next meeting.
Yeah.
If there's anybody here today that did not get a Wisconsin Farmers Union policy book, I have a few of them traveling with me.
For a second there, I was thinking you had to take over so I could get out of here.
I'm gonna follow you.
Or are you? You're going down there too?
Yeah, here they are. The both of you are going someplace. I've been watching the
Poor guy.
I was watching the clock for you guys. I had something to tell them, speed it, but things are fine. You did a good job.
So what do you have at 3:30?
Review order.
Well, what's happening exciting in your world?
Put a figure together.
Nothing.
Over all these old outdated ordinances.
Opportunity for greatness. There you go.
So what's happening with the ag ordinance? You know, they had, I think it was with the ag ordinances, where they had commercial and residential and ag, and I were on that there.
Yeah, that was actually one of the conversations.
Your ag specified as residential and commercial within those ordinances. I didn't make that one.
Deal because they're not.
Too much.
For what's the purpose?
Okay.
What ordinance are they violating and what part of the ordinance is violating? Is it even, is anything even?
I got the, that's a zoo. I got the last one about how to connect electronically.
Yeah.
Today?
Yeah, I got that.
Okay.
So I don't know.
There's really bad, you know. Maybe there's a.
You're saying almost on the regulation.
So maybe it's not as even valid on the legislative, No,
You can't get it
we
electronic.
will.
That is-
Look at all the fun you're having.
I don't have to capture all the.
There it is.
I wouldn't want to get out of here.
Saturday, her stores, whatever.
Long enough to know better.
I kind of know that.
No, they would have
but
to-
you guys are kind of waiting that as the days go.
Did
Yeah.
they ask you how long you've been in the company?
Right here,
It might be, options.